iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans. And this is Brett the Jet on the mic here for Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight we got a good one here for the ASRC Sportsman Series here around Watkins, Glen. We're here for 35 laps. It's going to be action-packed competition caution coming on lap 10. We're looking at Austin Nielsen in the 52 machine, but quick time in practice goes to the 25 of Nick Fleury. We see him down on pit road. We'll try and get a better shot of that 25 car. And we don't got one, so that's the closest we get. As we get ready to start on qualifying, we'll see who decides to take a lap. We'll see who decides to start in the back. It's going to be a little bit of strategy done here tonight. As for a little bit of this broadcast tonight, we should have the 93 machine, the series admin, Andrew Payne, up here whenever he decides to join us. So it's going to be a great one. We're going to get some insight from a pretty good road course driver of himself as we see the 25 machine of Nick Fleury rolling out here for the start of his lap. We'll go actually get some race info real quick as these drivers get up to speed to start their first lap. Of course, Watkins Glen is the just under 2.5 mile speedway. We have, I believe it's 9 turns here tonight without the dog leg. So the standard NASCAR with the bus stop and all the turns we come to love of this place. A pretty warm day here in New York, 90 degrees Fahrenheit for the track temp. 74 out here in the air, so traction may be a little limited. A little bit of overcast it looks like today with the cloudy skies. So that may change some dynamics of the tracks in some of these corners. Be sure to check out AmericanSimRacingClub.com to find out more from the racing action itself that you see here tonight. If you want to be a part of it, be sure to check them on out. Be sure to join us because we still got pit stalls open. Also, we got to give a shout out to Quick Time Motorsports Media, Mike's Custom Garage and Speed Shop, and the 399 Esports Gang. As we see Nick Fleury start his first time lap as he heads into turn number 1, this fast right-hander. See him get hard on the binders. We'll see where he puts this RHU, Jay's Woolworth. I believe it's siding, or it might be roofing. I'll have to ask Nick. Jay Angle is on the quarter panel. Of course, we got Debbie Parmley in the YouTube chats cheering on the 710 machine of Dan Parmley. Dan's going to be a hard one to beat. I know he's got some real-life road course experience, and that's going to pay dividends here tonight, where we'll be turning left and right. As Nick Fleury did get the grass, I wonder if that discontinued his lap or not, because if you get any sort of incident points for going off track or doing whatever or losing control of the race car, your lap will not count, as it looks like the 17 machine went off track already once here in qualifying. As we got most of the cars actually taking a qualifying lap, it looks like maybe only one or two drivers not out there on track yet, as Nick Fleury comes to complete his first time lap. We'll put the timing scoring up on the left side. We will reload it so we can actually read some numbers here, as Nick Fleury locks him up big time into one. We'll see how that hurts him. But right now, provisional pole goes to Dan the Man Parmley with a second over this driver. We'll see if Nick Fleury can squeeze out a second out of this 25 machine. As he heads to one of the trickiest corners on the speedway, the bus stop here. You got to be so precise on the braking and where you place that race car, because just one wrong placement, you hit the turtles wrong or turn under braking too much, and these heavy stock cars come around in a hurry. It's one thing to throw around a nimble, light road course car, especially on a road course like Watkins Glen. It's a whole nother beast to do it in these heavy stock cars. As Nick Fleury comes around for the final time, he'll look to the start-finish line, and we'll see where he goes on the timing and scoring. I don't believe he'll better his lap time, as Eric Papineau goes number 2 on the timing and scoring. As we look at the 59 machine of Nathan Henry, he starts his second time lap. His first time lap puts him number 4. That is the quickest of the Blue Division drivers so far. We'll see if he can better his lap time on lap number 2. As Dave Payton jumps to number 4, that moves Henry down to 5th, but he's still got another lap to make up some time. As we hear him getting through the gears, rolling that 59 machine on down, gets through the bus stops there, and now he's got to point his car for the carousel and get on that throttle pedal. This turn's always tricky with the left side weight of these cars. As we see Nathan getting through these final couple corners, we'll see if he betters his lap time. It's looking like a pretty smooth lap. And you know what they say, folks, a smooth lap is usually a fast lap. As Austin Nielsen goes to number 4 now. A lot of drivers in that 114, low 114 range. As Nathan Henry does beat Dave Payton and reclaims the 5th spot there. As we look at the 951 of Brian Wilderson, you see him coming through these last couple corners. Doesn't have a lap down. I think this should be his first time lap. We'll see where the 951 slots on in here at the start-finish line. As he goes number 5 on lap number 1. Just a 1,000th off of Austin Nielsen, so he just got to better his lap ever so slightly for this lap here, and he should be able to take spot number 4. But the question is, can he do it? He's carrying a lot of momentum through the S's there. We'll see how he rolls the bus stop. Has some late braking, carrying a lot of speed through there. Gets the car to hit his marks all over those curbs right there. You see that car really jumping on around, but able to carry the momentum. Goes very wide through the carousel, but gets a straight shot off. We'll have to see how this works out for the 951 as he approaches the last few corners. As we see the 951 get through the final corner. He's loose. He's carrying a lot of speed, trying to put that power down. We'll see if this lap is in fact faster. As he crosses the line, it is. It's just behind Nick Fleury. So move the 951 to P number 4. Now we'll look at the 82 machine, Jerry Cochran Jr. He put it in the blue division victory lane. His first time out here. Hasn't been able to do it the last couple weeks, but he's looking to put in a solid qualifying effort here and maybe do it again for this Harpoon 82 machine. Alrighty, folks, and that ended the 82's lap. So it looks like he wasn't able to complete a lap. Must have had some incidents in here. But with the about end of qualifying, we got a minute left, so no other driver will be able to put in a time. I think we got the series director here, Andrew Payne. Andrew, you got a copy?
I got a copy, Brett.
Alrighty, man. How you doing tonight? And we're here at a road course. I know you enjoy turning left and right in these NASCAR cars.
Man, I'm looking forward to being able to see the show that they put on. You know how I am with the road courses. They're that's one of my favorite track layouts and forms on the sim. Ran some practice laps tonight. Wish I could be competing tonight, but I'm sitting out and playing the race control for tonight, making sure that everything runs smoothly. I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys run. I think Dan, currently has provisional pole. I believe he will get the pole just based on how people have run. I think he's kind of sitting in the best spot right now. We could see some good strategy play out tonight and stuff like that. It's all just going to come down to who can keep the cars on the tracks, honestly.
Yeah. The question is, Andrew, we saw it last week with people forfeiting the stage points to get track position after the competition caution. I assume we'll see it again here at such a large track, that being the Watkins Glen. As we got...
Yeah, I can... Sorry about that,
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I can definitely see people forfeiting stage points tonight in order to get the ultimate goal of the win and, stuff like that. Points get paid out for... leading laps too and stuff like that. So, anything these drivers can do to make up time and stuff like that.
Yep, that is very true. So we'll walk through the grid here. Dan the Man Parmley will start on the pole. He gets quick time award in the 710 machine. Starting to his outside will be Eric Papanow, his fellow teammate in the 43 machine. Third place will be Nick Fleury in the 25 machine. Brian Wilderson will be starting to his outside. Row number 3 will be made up of Austin Nielsen in the 52, with Nathan Henry in the 59 to his outside. Dave Payton and Jeff O'Quinn will make up row number 4. Row 5 will be Lee Campbell and Jerry Cochran III. Row number 6 is Kyle Munson and Jerry Cochran Jr. Tommy Hayes will start P number 13, and Andrew Burr sadly could not make the start tonight, had some other issues, so that will be the starting order here tonight as we'll wait to get rolling here. A very long grid lap, a lot of nerves for these drivers to get to the green flag. As Andrew, I'm a little bit bummed we don't see the series regular out here tonight. It looked like John DeMeester in the Blue Deuce not able to make it.
Yeah, John took a provisional for tonight and was unable to make the race tonight, and I'm sure he'll be back next week. But yeah, we're not getting the Blue Deuce out here tonight.
Yeah, that is a bummer as it looks like now we got movement out of the Porsche safety car. That means we'll get the field rolling for this pretty long outlap, Andrew. So, Andrew, I got to ask, who are we picking tonight? I think Dan Parmley's going to be a hard one not to pick here tonight with his road course Miata experience out there.
I think if you pick anyone but Dan, you're probably going to be losing money here, Brett. I mean, Dan is Dan has about 6.5 tenths out on anyone in that qualifying lap, and man, he knows how to get around these places. I raced with him, on road courses and stuff throughout the last season and stuff like that, and he was always stiff competition. It was always, he knows his way around this place, and I feel like if you're not picking him, but you're definitely gonna be losing money here.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you are as well, I got to take the 710 machine of Dan Parmley. I think he'll get it done. Did he in fact win the last road course race, Andrew, of Road America?
Yeah, he is currently the defending road course winner in the series. He did win Road America last season, and I do believe he finished second last season here behind me when we ran in the early part of the season. So he has an average of, I believe, 1.5 on the road courses. So his numbers back up his performance right now.
Yep, he's going to be the man to beat. That is for sure tonight as we finally get to the last couple corners, Andrew. I'm pumped up to be turning left and right. How about yourself?
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting to see how they go into turn 1 tonight, see if they can all make it through and stuff like that. And man, it's about to be some good racing.
That it is. We got all sorts of cameras set up around this racetrack to try and catch all the action because there's going to be all action all throughout this field, whether cars trying to keep it on the racing surface to some hard battles as we see the Porsche iRacing pace car head down pit road. We'll wait for the 710 machine to fire on off. And we have the green flag racing. We are racing here at Watkins Glen. Dan Parmley gets a great start off to himself. They stay side by side for the most part here as they head into turn number 1. Nick Fleury trying to make the inside work on the 43 machine of Eric Papinow. Here comes the tricky part of the corner to do side by side through the S's as most of the field does single file on out. As you see Lee Campbell, a little bit different paint scheme here tonight. Not the AC Delco blue, now in the yellow and white machine. He is under fire from now Kyle Munson as they head into the bus stop. Nathan Henry locks him up big time. And these guys all get through the bus stop with little issue. Nathan Henry coming out with a bit of an issue there. I think he just got in there too hot or maybe had to jump on the binders to get from getting into the back of someone, Andrew.
Yeah, I was on board with him going into the bus stop, and he definitely just overshot it. Cool brakes, cool tires, and it's really easy to overshoot at the start of a race in the first couple laps with how cold everything is in these cars.
Yeah. But the good news for Nathan, he still is leading the blue division as we complete lap number 1 and one car going around. I think that's the 9 machine of Jeff O'Quinn. Not sure if he got some help. We'll go to the replay and see if that 9 machine did in fact get some help or if he just got a little too throttle happy, as he does have, I think, the 81 machine to his inside as they head into the final corner. And that thing, Andrew, just steps around on him. He's trying to make that outside arc work and maybe had too much wheel in it and just walks around on him. So the first incident of the night, and Jeff O'Quinn luckily has the stage caution to catch back up to this field.
Yeah, I believe the stage caution is going to play a huge part in people having early issues being able to catch up to the field and stuff like that. And that poor luck for Jeff to start the race out, but still have that second chance when the stage brake flies.
Yeah, and it looks like once again another issue for Nathan Henry leading the blue division and through the middle of the bus stop coming on off. It looks like that thing gets out of shape. He does tag the safer barrier or the pit barrels or the tire barrier, excuse me, right outside the bus stop. Luckily not too much damage to that nose, but another driver with an early issue. I say if you got an issue, Andrew, you might as well get it out of the way now while we got a chance to regroup.
Yeah, if you know, like we were saying with Jeff and stuff like that, you have any issue, you got to get it out of the way in the first 10 laps, and spend the back half of the race just making up time and keeping the car under you and trying to get the best finish you can.
That is very true. Well, that will move Jerry Cochran, the third, up in the blue division lead. Like we were saying, I was saying a little bit in the pre-race, he was able to park it in blue division victory in his first outing. Has not been there since, and I know he probably wants to get back there again. Right now, sitting in the 7th position and in the early stages, doing what he needs to for that 81 machine. As Nick Fleury now getting a little bit of pressure still from the 951. Brian Wilderson, a very good dirt racer. And sometimes I can translate over to the road course racing with how much sliding around there is and how much you got to toss these cars around, let's say.
Yeah, there's definitely a huge level of transferring between dirt and road courses, and if you get used to sliding cars around and having the rear end out, especially here with the the cars have a tendency to want to step out, especially through the S's where they're going through right now, and just everywhere on this track. If you can wheel dirt car around, you're gonna probably be in pretty good shape when it comes to road courses or actually oval tracks, for that matter too.
As we jump on board with the 951 here, we'll look from the right side camera onboard shot and see what it's like to go around here with in the chase of two different cars here for the Mike's Garage onboard shot. As we hear the 951 getting on the throttle hard out of the carousel. A little bit of wheel spin, but able to still carry a pretty good amount of momentum. Now he'll make his way through these last couple corners of a lap. Now, Andrew, is there any real big secret to make these stock cars go around a road course really well? Is there late shifting, early shifting, hard on the brakes? I assume you got to brake as straight as you can with how heavy these things are, and be pretty gentle on the rear tires and not blow those off early.
Yeah, a huge thing with the stock cars that I'm sure a lot of these guys are utilizing, Dan and all of them, top 5 guys. Engine braking here is huge, especially into the bus stop. If you can, shift later into your braking and allow the engine to also help slow the car down, you'll be able to get into the corners a lot deeper than other guys. And, it's being able to get on the brakes hard enough to where you're making the corners, but also not, locking them up or having the rears, tire hop is huge. And also just not hitting curbs. The curbs here are, kind of deadly if you hit them wrong, especially through the S's and stuff like that, and even the bus stop for that matter. But like you were saying, the smoother you can be, the faster you're going to be around here.
Yep, as we see now, Dave Payton slowly getting reeled in by that 81 machine. He's closed the gap to the 6th place driver as the 38 goes wide off of turn number 1, so you may have a battle for 6th here just before the stage caution. And folks, the stage caution is coming on lap number 10 of 35 here tonight, so that is what these drivers are racing to as Dave Payne goes a little bit wide there. He's getting a little too close to the wall for my liking, as we'll see him dive it down now into the bus stop. Looks like that 38 K&M machine may be struggling with some front end grip, Andrew. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, it looks like, Peyton might be struggling with a little bit of grip. It looks like he lets the 81 by, so they're not battling it out, saving their tires, not not ending up on the wrecker here early in the race. Kind of that thing we were talking about earlier. Probably overdriving a little bit and not being able to get the car woed up enough, and burning off the front tires or heating them up too much. And if you do that, you're not gonna be able to get into the corners or turn through the corners very well here.
Yeah, as we look back here, Brian Wilderson goes off track, was on the bumper of the 25 machine, lost his braking point, and shot it way wide, almost to the gravel, almost to the grass, but gets that thing back on track, but loses about 2 seconds to the back bumper of the 25 machine. So shows you just how quickly that time can be lost around the speedway. Now we see the 27 of Lee Campbell catching the back bumper of Tommy Hayes. This could be a battle for the 8th position here. Lee Campbell looking pretty strong here on a road course, currently sitting number 2 in the blue division, so maybe that change of paint scheme might be the trick to start the good momentum rolling for this 2017. As we also look on the right side of the screen, folks, just popped it on up the track map. This shows you where your favorite driver's on track. The one highlighted in green is the driver we're looking at here. So we're looking at the 27 machine in this pack, and we see how far the leader is out in front. Dan Parmley, that's the gap of 5 and almost 6 seconds now to the 43 machine. And Brian Wilderson has reeled back in Nick Fleury now within a second. So at 9:51, Andrew looking pretty sporty here as these tires continue to wear for these drivers.
Yeah, he's getting right back up to the back bumper of Nick there, and it's obvious he has some speed. He just needs to be able to keep the car on track and not go wide, and he'll be able to pick up a spot or two, and maybe he'll, at the stage break, be able to challenge for the lead.
Now, Andrew, who are we going to see come in early and give up the stage points but get the track position? Wouldn't it be wild to see everyone but the race leader come down and take some tires?
Yeah, I could see maybe that happen. Dan's kind of in a league of his own right now compared to everyone else. He has 6.5 seconds to Eric. I could if I had to pick one driver that would come down early and sacrifice stage points, it would probably be the 43 of Eric Papineau. He did it last week at Indy, and it seemed to work for him. Getting the lead would probably be huge because you're got that clean air and you'd be able to save a little bit. I see Eric, pulling the strategy and dropping those stage points and picking up. As he almost goes around going into the carousel there. But yeah, I can see him sacrificing a few stage points and trying to go for the ultimate goal tonight.
Yeah, and if Eric Papineau comes in from second place, that could allow the rest of the field to come on in too. And depending on everyone's pit stops, he might lose a few stage points, but he still might get it some if a lot of cars do in fact come in. This will be the time. We'll see who decides to dive down pit road and who decides to stay on out here as Dan Parmley clicks over to lap number 10. As so far, we don't have any takers.
Yeah, that surprises me a little bit, Brett. I would have expected at least one or two potentially going down the pits for some fresh rubber and fuel, and I'm surprised that none of the top 5 would have gotten it and try to get an upper hand on Dan after the stage break.
I agree, Andrew. I'm surprised we don't see it unless maybe someone's really risky with this yellow flag and tries to come in here. I mean, the yellow flag will be probably thrown pretty quickly, so I could see only maybe the top 5, the top 4 being so close, maybe being able to get it. But yeah, I don't think we didn't have any takers down pit road, so interesting. Everyone must want those stage points.
Yeah, I know stage points could be huge, and we're getting on the back half of the regular season, and I can see people trying to pick up as many points as they can, trying to make it into the chase as they can now, and especially because road courses tend to lean towards a different group of drivers potentially being up front, and people trying to take advantage of all the points that they can get.
Wow, what a power move from the 951. He had a run. He went for it. He sailed it in that last left-hander. Didn't quite make it stick, but he made a power move to let Nick Fleury know, hey, I am coming. And he tried to make a move, and definitely will keep that one in mind as we get our stage caution here. Dan Parmalee, Dan the man, gets it done in the 710 machine. Eric Papanow will bring it home second for the stage. Third will be Nick Fleury. Fourth is Brian Wilderson. We saw his move. And Austin Nielsen rounds out the top 5 for some points. As we see this field catching the iRacing pace car here.
Brett, I got a question for you. You think we're going to see anyone play any strategy games and maybe not take tires, or try to take 2 and get a jump, and maybe try to break up this backstage into, a one-stopper, because, tires can be huge here.
Yeah, I think with how everyone was pushing, I think no one was really saving tires. It seemed like everyone was pushing these cars to the edge, slip sliding around for the most part. So I would just have to assume that we see everyone come in, take 4 Goodyear tires and fill it up with the virtual racing Sunoco fuel. But I'd be very impressed. I would love to see someone throw in some strategy. Because, Andrew, do you know, can we make it to the end once it goes green flag here with about 20 to go?
I believe from here on out, it should be able. Drivers should be able to make it to the end. I believe it's about a 35 lap run on fuel, but I mean, tires can be huge. I'm looking. I'm going to take a look here at Dan's overall lap time, and he falls off about a second, give or take, over the period of the 10 laps. So maybe after 25, that could be 2.5 seconds, and 2.5 seconds a lap could be a lot, and especially if people get battling out, maybe we'll see some people try to split up the stage and take advantage of that extra set of tires that they have laying in the pits.
Yeah, we will have to see as we start to close in on pit road. Any driver you've been really impressed with? It seems like Jerry Cochran III has been moving pretty good. He is up 6 spots, so that 81 machine looking pretty sporty here, still leading the blue division. I've been pretty impressed by the speed out of that Harpoon Designs.
I've been thoroughly impressed with Brian Wilderson. He went off track there and still ended up catching back up to the back bumper of Nick Fleury, and I think if it wasn't for those mistakes, that he'd probably be running 3rd right now.
Yeah, it'd be cool to talk to him, see what he thinks of a road course here as we head down pit road. We'll see the whole field coming on in, and we'll get the camera set on up here and see who wins the race off of pit road. I haven't heard anything from any insiders about strategy yet, Andrew. We'll have to see if both sides of these race cars do in fact go up, and if 4 tires are taken, as we have some drivers in there heading to their boxes. As it looks like no one really slid on through their box. Eric Papanow maybe had to move slightly forward, so that might slow down his stop a little bit.
I believe Nathan Henry slid through his stall just a little bit too. I saw him have to back up, and that little bit of adjustment from Papanow cost him a couple spots, but he might be kind of thanking himself there, because he's ending up in a better spot on this restart.
Yeah, he'll be restarting right behind his teammate there. And I guess he just beat the nose of the 52 of Austin Nielsen. As we see all the drivers rolling off here and re-catching the pace car. Andrew, I think we got a driver with a penalty. I think the 951 of Brian Wilderson. Too fast on pit road.
It also sounds like the driver of the 52 has also got a speeding penalty as well. That's not what you want here.
No, that is a tough break for both of those drivers. Those drivers will have to go back through this field here to get on through and get back to where they're running. They're running 4th and 5th. So that is going to make it a real interesting restart, Andrew.
Yeah, I think those drivers are going to potentially, could potentially maybe drive in a little bit too far trying to make up time. But, they got, I think when they get going green, it'll be about maybe 12 laps to go, 22 laps to go. That's a lot of time to make up some spots, and especially if we see some strategy calls, we could see them back up to where they were before. But that's not what you want. You don't want to make mistakes going into the final stage.
Yep, as the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car, we'll go through the final lap under yellow. We'll get him re-racked, restacked here, and get him double filed on up. The final row will be made up of the 2 drivers with the penalty. That'll be the 52 and the 951, so we'll keep an eye on them trying to get through this field.
Brett, do you think Nick will be able to challenge here? Challenge Dan here early, or do you think Dan's just going to pull away again?
I think the battle will be for second between the 25 and the 43. I think Dan Parmley will get a great restart again, sail it down into 1, and as long as he doesn't have a big mistake, I think he'll say, "See you guys after the race." As we see these guys head through the bus stop here. You never know with these road courses, Andrew. These spots get a little bit tight here through these bus stops. You never know what could unfold here, even under yellow, as everyone makes it on through. And now the anticipation starts to build. These drivers tightening down their seatbelts one last time, checking their steering wheels, and getting ready to unleash the beast here in 2 more turns. As when we go green, Andrew, it'll be 21 to go. We'll see who can manage their tires, who can keep the rears underneath them, because that will be the biggest name of the game here once they get going. We'll see who can keep it under them and who keeps the mistakes to a minimum. As we go through the final corner, the iRacing pace car will make its way down pit road, and then we'll wait for the 710 machine of Parmley to fire on off. As he fires off, gets a fantastic restart way in front of the 2 drivers side by side. Eric Papanow in the 43 down low, Nick Fleury in the 25 up top. Nick Fleury tries to put the power down, but they'll stay side by side here as they head to the S's. And always a sketchy first couple corners, especially on cold tires. Looks like everyone makes it on through. Austin Nielsen, Brian Wilderson already up a couple spots, so they are making their way through the field in a hurry. As we see Brian Wilderson head to the inside here into the bus stop. He's trying to make it around the long way of the 27 of Lee Cambo. Looks like he's not quite able to do it yet. They still are side by side as they head through the carousel. Looks like also Nick Fleury gets passed by Eric Papanow. That will put the 23 back to P number 3. As we see Brian Wilderson able to get around. Austin Nielsen following suit, staying right on the back bumper of that 951. They are back inside the top 10 here as Dan Parmley has already checked out to a 2-second lead, Andrew. He is making that car work and making it look easy out here tonight at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, Dan has this thing, he's driving good right now. It's very minimal mistakes so far. The only way I see anyone beating Dan is pretty much only himself. I only see a mistake out of him potentially costing him the win. I don't see any of these drivers being able to mount a challenge for him.
As Nick Fleury dives it down in there in the bus stop and reclaims second place. That was a power move there from the 25 machine and moves him back into P number 2. And now Eric Papinow's got quite a few drivers right on his tail.
That was quite the power move, Brett. But in the long run, how much is that going to hurt Nick's tires? Having to go in a little bit hard, potentially locking them up going in. Try to make the bus stop.
Yeah, that definitely added some unnecessary heat to the front, and he's already struggling with those last couple of corners with getting his line right. So he's got to take it easy, rip that rear view mirror off that car and hit his marks and try and drive away from the 43, as once again he misses the apex again. 43 may have a run, had to maybe just blip the throttle, and that gives a little bit of space to the 25 machine.
Each one of these mistakes that are being made is just going to hurt Nick. It seems like he can get out of the corners faster than Eric, but if he keeps sliding tires, it's just give him 5 or 6 laps. And
as some big contact further in the back. A lot of cars in the wall. Lee Campbell with some heavy damage, as well as Jerry Cochran Jr. with some heavy damage as well. We'll see what happened to the 27 car, as it looks like he may have gotten... It looks like Andrew, he just got the grass coming out of the S's and some hard contact into the wall. That thing is heavy damage. At the exact same time, the 82 machine spun in the S's and got picked up some damage. So 2 drivers with some heavy damage here, as Dave Payton now lost a whole bunch of spots. I wonder what happened to that 38 K&N machine, as it looks like the 38 of Dave Payne slow through the bus stop, must have missed his marks, almost went off track, but with him having to slow down so much, lost a few spots there. So he is slotted back in the 6th position. That moves Jerry Cochran, the 3rd, up to 4th. Kyle Munson cracks inside the top 5 here, as Nick Fleury giving himself still not too much breathing room. The gap to him and Eric Papinow is still the same, so those guys running pretty similar lap times here.
And while all this is going on, Dan is just comfortably pulling away from the rest of the field. He's up to about 4.5 seconds last time by, and I'm sure it'll be even more now that these guys are battling for second.
Yeah, as Jeff O'Quinn gets around Austin Nielsen, as Jeff O'Quinn sails it into that left-hander, overshoots it. That'll give the spot back to Austin Nielsen, but you got to wonder. At 52 was charging through the field very well. Not sure if he had a mistake or something, or if that handling's already going, but Brian Wilderson up into P number 8, but has slowly started to stall out as these cars continue to wear these tires here. We have 17 to go.
I think, like we mentioned, Brett, those guys who ended up getting those unfortunate speeding penalties are starting to hurt a little bit, trying to make up too much time too fast when they, on an oval, 21 laps isn't a whole lot, but on a road course like this, 21 laps is a whole lot of time, and I think they might have gotten, too hard too fast, and definitely heated those tires up more than they needed to be.
Yeah, as we get a side-by-side battle, we're looking out the back of the 25 of Nick Fleury. Now he's under attack. Now Eric Papinow will have the preferred line as he's inside of the 25 machine. The 25 machine can maybe put the power down a little bit better. It looks like he will be able to claim the spot. maybe we'll jump on board with the 43 machine. We were looking from the back shot from the 25. Now we'll maybe look from the front here of Eric Papanow.
Seems like these two, Brett, will not let each other go. They're one gets away a little bit and the other one catches back up, and I'm wondering if they're going to push each other into mistakes. I think both of them locked the tires going into one there, and it's just going to hurt them in the long run of this race.
Yeah, looking like the Verstappen-Leclerc battle where they're both locking up into a corner here as these guys are fighting like they're for the race lead. But Andrew, this is only for second place.
Yeah, if I was them, I'd be trying to stay, you know, nose to tail as best I can, and, you know, try anything and everything they can to, you know, gain some time back there on Dan. And, you know, they're losing time right now to the driver in fourth place, Jerry Cochran, and Kyle Munson even in fifth. They're slowly catching them, and if Nick and Eric keep battling it out, we might have a four-car battle for second.
Yeah, they're definitely slowly reeling in these two as these two continue to use up their tires. As we see, Eric Papanow get big time loose off of one. He had to jump out of the throttle and he loses a lot of time because of it. As we see Brian Wilderson get around Dave Payton for the sixth position. So Wilderson almost back inside the top five here. But these drivers still racing hard. As Eric Papanow big time sideways out of the bus stop. Jumps on the binders to keep that thing from going around. And Andrew, I think this 43 has used up his rear tires way too early. We still got 15 laps to go, and he's slip sliding around this racetrack a lot.
Yeah, it looks like he got you know, shifted the weight big time through the bus stop using those curbs, and it's hurting him. I definitely thinking those rear tires are screaming for a break right now, and maybe we'll see, because of that, maybe we'll see some differing strategy to see if they're the drivers are going to try to make up time on Dan and the rest of the field because of that.
Yeah, Dan's out there with an 8-second lead as they run, so it'd be hard pressed to catch him. So it would be interesting to see. Sadly, you know, in these NASCARs, you can only do left and right sides. You can't put two new rear tires on, because I know a few drivers, after a few more laps here, Andrew, will definitely be wanting just some new rears.
Yeah, I would be, if I was Eric Papanow, I'd be screaming for some new rears right now if that was, if that could be a possibility here. But, you know, I would, if I did have to choose to pit, I would end up taking four, because I'm sure those front tires are also pretty warm and worn out themselves.
As Brian Wilderson to the inside of Kyle Munson through the carousel. These guys will go side by side to this left-hander and move the 951 back inside the top five. He is catching on all the cars around him, and one besides the 710 machine. I think the 951 is the second quickest car on the track, Andrew.
I believe so. Ryan is making up some good time. You know, Dan has a bunch of clean tracks, so he's going to be putting down flying laps. But, you know, comparing last lap times out of the top five, and I believe Ryan does have one of the quicker laps out of the group.
Yeah, he's just a 10th behind Nick Fleury, who also has some clean tracks. So that 951 with an overtake is definitely one of the quickest cars on track. About half a second quicker than the next car in front of him. So he is looking pretty sporty here. As we still got a pretty good bunch, Andrew, for this around 3rd through 5th, and then it looks like around 8th, 9th, 10th, and almost 11th also in their own separate group as well.
Yeah, it looks like these guys, if one of them makes a mistake, there's a possibility for someone else to capitalize on it. And I'm sure that that's been going through all these drivers' heads, trying not to make a mistake and lose spots.
Yeah, as we see,
Eric just lost a spot.
I was just about to say that, Andrew. Jared Cochran, the third, gets around Eric Papanow for peak number 3. That moves the 81 into the podium spots, and now the 43 will fall into the clutches here of the 951.
Going back on the replay, it looks like Eric caught the wall out of the carousel, went over those curbs, and upset the car and caught that outer wall. So I think his car's going to be hurting a little bit.
As he's loose through the S's, holy smokes, almost tags the back of Brian Wilderson. I don't know how they didn't make contact. That was a heck of a save from the 43 and heck of avoidance by everyone to keep these cars facing the right direction. But that 43's handling is down the toilet, Andrew. He is struggling big time, especially with that damage. Like you said, we see it in the left front here, and those rear tires are absolutely heated up and shredded for the Meineke 43 machine.
Yeah, if I was Eric Papanow, I'd be backing it down a little bit, trying to, finish this race without necessarily having a pit, and just kind of make the wound a little bit less than what it could be. But man, if I was that battle between him and Nick a few laps ago is definitely hurting him big time right now.
Yeah, as you know, Andrew, it's so hard to do to back it down as a racer, especially out there on the track. You look at it, be like, look at all these spots I lost. I got to get them back. I got to push harder. But you got to do the exact opposite, especially with a ill-handling race car like we see out of the 43 machine. So we'll have to see how he fares. But so far, now outside of the top 5, as Brian Wilderson continues to set up another car. He has reeled in about within a half a second of our third-place runner of the 81.
Wilderson is making up huge time. He's, biding his time, saving his tires. I don't think I've seen a mistake out of him besides speeding on pit road tonight, Brett. And I think if this continues, he definitely has the top 3 spot lined up. Maybe he could, 5 seconds is a lot of time, 4 seconds is a lot, but maybe he can catch up to Nick and nab a top 2 finish.
Yeah, as he restarted that last restart all the way back in the 12th position. He has come up through this field and passed 9 cars just about, as I heard over the radio. The spotters of these 2 drivers talking. The 81 will let the 951 go here.
10 laps to go, Brett, and sorry to cut you off there, but 10 laps, do you think Brian gets up to second?
It'll be tough. We'll have to look at the lap times here. When we go, they were pretty close the last couple of times, but yeah, so far Brian Wilderson last time by half a second quicker than Nick Fleury. If he can keep up that pace, he will just be able to get to the back bumper of the 25. The question is, will he be able to get around him? We got 10 laps to find out. As we haven't given him too much screen time. He's been out here in front. Dan the Man Parmalee will maybe ride on board with him and see what's making this 710 machine drive so well here as we ride on board a lap around Watkins Glen. And man, Andrew, the 710 machine's so smooth around here. He's making it look easy, but as you say, nice and smooth and easy can be pretty fast in the race cars, backwards as that seems.
Yeah, and I was comparing lap times between him and Nick Fleury, and the smoothness of Dan has him out by about a half a second a lap right now from the last time by, and that's all you need. You just gotta run smooth, and you're gonna make up time on everyone.
Yeah, that last time by Brian Wilderson and Nick Fleury about the same lap time, so Wilderson is maybe slowly closing the gap.
Brett, if you're Dan Parmalee right now, what are you thinking with this, with the 11-second, 12-second lead you got? Do you push just to make up time, or do you run even more conservative and not make a mistake here in these remaining laps.
Oh, you back it down. You brake 5 car lengths earlier than you need to, real easy on the throttle, and you just take care of those tires, make the guys behind you make a mistake, and you just sit out there like you're on a Sunday cruise, because that's all he's got to do with that 12-second lead for the 710 machine. Maybe you could push on the last lap, see what kind of lap you can get at the end, but he definitely can put it in autopilot mode and just ride on along. Eric Papanow now getting a hang of that 43 machine. Took it easy for a few laps, cooled off those rear tires, still hanging on to 6th place with Dave Payne inside his second back, but the 43 machine just has to keep on hitting his marks.
Yep, minimize the damage, and it looks like that car is better handling than it was a few laps ago, Brett, but still got to minimize the mistakes from here on out and not lose any more than you already have.
Yeah, as the last time by Andrew, Brian Wilderson was a second quicker than Nick Fleury. Will put up the times here for this time by as Brian Wilderson that time was only 2/10 to the good, but still continues to close the gap to our second place driver of Nick Fleury. So the 951 doing what he needs to with 7 laps to go around this 2.5 mile road course. As it looks like our 5th place driver, Kyle Munson, went slightly off track, got it back there, and still hanging on to P number 5. But that has allowed the 43 machine to close the gap ever so slightly, about a 1.5 seconds back here.
If I was papping out in that 43, I'd be not trying to push too hard to try to get up to Munson. I would let Munson fall back to you and not burn up those tires even more, and potentially, have another mistake out of that 43.
Yeah, because I don't think you got any more tires to afford to burn up from that 43 machine. As this time by, it looks like they'll be pretty even on the lap times. We will compare here, folks, for lap number 29 of 35. And yeah, only 0.06 of a second advantage to actually Nick Fleury. So they matched their lap times pretty evenly. Maybe Brian Wilderson used up all his stuff to get here, might be hanging out for a podium position, but we still get to talk to him if he does in fact keep this position. As Eric Papanow with another little bit of an incident, once again coming out of the S's, got a little bit loose, was against that inside wall, but able to keep the thing going in the right direction, keep the momentum up, didn't lose any spots there, Andrew. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, losing it in the S is a really tough spot, and him managing to only get probably minimal right side damage is huge, and keeping his race going the way it is right now.
As this time by for Dan Parmley, we see the open palm from the flagman. 5 laps to go. And I have the option, Andrew. I think we should check it on out. We can do a little crank it up around Watkins Glen. So I'll let the cars do the talking. We'll take a break from talking, and we'll come back on the other side. As we come back here, folks, some pretty cool action shots from trackside there. We even had cars flying over us, so some pretty cool shots there. We see Nick Fleury here still running in second, about a 3-second gap to Brian Wilderson. They get around the lapper as Nathan Henry and Dave Payne duke it out. Holy smokes, almost contact. The 38 of Dave Payne way wide into the tire barriers he goes. Holy smokes, Andrew. Some late race drama here inside of 3 laps to go.
Yeah, I was watching that battle, and it just looked like Dave overshot it a little bit. You know, that kind of started back in turns 6 and 7, and I don't think there's any contact, and I think Dave just overshot it a little bit.
As we hear an update from the 38 K&M machine, lost his brake point from the 59 machine, was in the sight of the lines there. Pretty hard to do, and Dave Payne just overshot, shoots it into one. We'll watch it here on the replay as they head into the fast turn number 1. You see the 38 machine duck out there and definitely carrying a lot of speed, locking them on up, trying to make it, and that car just goes absolutely straight, and he will be done for the night. As we continue to look through this field, Nathan Henry now trying to get the pass done on Austin Nielsen into one, has to put the binders on and almost gets to him, but doesn't quite get it done, as it looks like maybe the 27 machine may have an issue as well. Andrew, it's 2 laps to go, and it looks like Dan Parmley looking pretty good. He's about to see the white flag here as he comes to the start-finish line. And we'll see the white flag presented by QuickTime Motorsports Media. Dan Parmley able to increase his gap to about 15 seconds. Now the battle on track might be for that 7th position. Austin Nielsen, Nathan Henry still duke it in on out. As these guys still bumper to bumper here as they get their white flag here. We'll see if the 59 can put down the power here. See if he looks to the inside as they head into turn number 1. Nathan Henry's going to think better of it here and maybe wait for a more opportune corner as he gets a pretty good run out of the corner. We'll see where he goes through these S's. As the 52 machine looks pretty sporty through there. We'll go up to the front as we see the 710 machine round the couple last corners. Dan Parmley's going to get it done and win the first road course for this season here at ASRC Sportsman Series. Dan Parmley gets it done in dominating fashion. Now we'll see Nick Fleury in second roll through the final corner. He'll get and bring it home in second in one piece. Brian Wilderson went wide a little bit, trying to make the most of it. Eric Papinow also goes wide, trying to get to the back bumper of Kyle Munson. Not quite enough to get to the top 10. He will come home 6th. Nathan Henry trying to drive the wheels off that thing and will bring it home in 8th there. As a lot of drivers trying to make it happen there on the last lap. But Dan the Man Parmley gets it done here tonight. As we will wait for the 710 machine of Dan Parmley to do some burnouts on the front stretch. And we'll see him burn it on down here for the fans. Dan Parmley gets it on done. And for all the fans watching at home, we will throw a 2 commercial break. On the other side, we'll be talking to these drivers and where they finish. We'll be talking to the top 4 with Jerry Cochran being the highest blue finishing driver. So we'll be back in 45 seconds.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
As we come back on the other side, folks, we'll be talking to Jerry Cochran the third. Jerry, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
I got you, buddy.
Alrighty, we also got series admin Andrew Payne in here. How was this 81 machine? You're one of the biggest movers tonight. You were the biggest mover tonight, up 8 positions. How do you feel about road courses, and how was the car driving here for you tonight?
Road courses are all right. You know, they're not my favorite, but it's definitely challenging and definitely makes you learn throttle control being somewhere like here. Car was good. Just can't keep quite the pace them guys up front could. Need some more seat time, but overall it was good. We stayed out of trouble. We got through a bunch of cars, and I'll take it.
Yeah, man, it definitely seemed like this car was moving very well for you. You kept it to 0 mistakes, and I think you kept it on track all night. You finished with 0X here tonight?
No, I got one right here in turn 1. I let the left sides get a little over that apron too far, and I got a 1X right there. But other than that, we was pretty clean.
Alrighty, man. Yeah, I was talking about in the booth, you know, you first time out with us, you parked it in victory lane for the blue division. I know you're probably wanting to get back there, and tonight you get it done again. So awesome job, and maybe looking on forward as we go back to an oval track next week. What are the expectations?
I'm gonna be honest, man. They're getting there. You know, the more I run with these guys and get some seat time with these guys, and it just makes me faster. So I hope to be about where I'm sitting now, or even better. You know, I hope to be fighting these guys.
Yeah, it's just outside the top 3 is nothing to laugh at, especially with how good these guys here at ASRC Sportsman Series are on the road courses. But before we let you go, one quick thing in here. We got Brantley in the YouTube chat land cheering you on. One longtime fan there for your team here for Harpoon Designs.
Brantley's the boss. He is Harpoon Designs, and I got to thank Brantley for everything he does, and Mark and the whole team over at Harpoon. You know, they've worked with me this past week and helped me pick up a little bit. So big thanks to Harpoon, Brantley, Mark, all the guys over there, Grayson J Photography, my wife, my family, my dad, everybody here in the league. Great league, fast guys. I enjoy it here, and thanks for everything you guys do in turn 3. Y'all do a great job.
Alrighty, thank you, Jerry. I know from first-hand experience, me and my dad both race against each other on the Wednesday night stuff, so it's always fun racing against the dad and fellow family members out there on track. So cool to see the father-son combo out here on the Sportsman stuff I get to call, so that's always awesome, keeping it in the family. But Jerry, congratulations on the blue division win. Turning left and right's never easy. Like you said, a lot of rear tire management here tonight, so congratulations, man. It was definitely impressive to see this 81 machine work his way through the field tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.
Alrighty, you have a great rest of your night and go celebrate this blue division win.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, folks, that was our blue division winner. Now we'll go dial up our 3rd place finisher. That would be the likes of Brian Wilderson. We'll get our camera reset up here in a second, and we'll go talk to the dirt driver himself. Brian, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth with Andrew.
Hey, Brett, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good, man. How about yourself? Out here turning left and right. How was the car, and how was it feeling? You made your way through that field after speeding on pit road. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your up and down day?
Yeah, it was quite up and down, wasn't it? Yeah, I just made a bonehead move there on pit road. I'm not very good at the whole pit stop thing, and totally blew that. I was too far right on entry and lost some time, and then tried to make it up and make a spot getting off pit road instead and putting back at 13%.
Yeah, but a very impressive drive to come through this field and finish in the podium. It seemed like for a second you might have had something for Nick Fleury, but it seemed like you guys' tires leveled on out. Was that the case?
Yeah, I burned my tires off at that point. I really wasn't expecting to come through the field quite like that. I was just hoping for a top 10 at that point, but things were going good, and but I definitely burned the tires off, and then I think it was about 10 to go, so we really leveled off. I couldn't make any more progress on them. These guys were they were on a different playing field, and especially Dan. Man, that guy was so fast for him.
Yeah, he has some real-life road course experience, so we'll be sure to talk to him about that. But, Brian, you come from more of the dirt stuff. Did that help you tonight with keeping these heavy cars underneath you, especially with these left and right turns with how little traction there is?
Yeah, these things were a handful. They were so slick, and they're heavy. So once they start getting sideways, it takes quite a bit to get them back underneath of you. So, I guess that dirt kind of pays off. But the track was slick all night. These things were definitely a handful.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way. It seemed like a hot day here in New York. Track temps were very high. This a little bit cloudy, but it seemed like the sun started beating down as the run went on. And, of course, as the track starts heating up with the cars, it only gets slicker. But, Brian, before we let you go and celebrate this podium position, I'll open up the floor to you and let you give a shout-out to whoever you need out there in the YouTube lands.
Well, I just want to thank the ASRC league for putting these races on. They're a whole bunch of fun, and even with car count of around 15 or so here we had tonight, we were able to put on some good racing. So hopefully we can continue the successes that the series has had them.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Brian. It's been a pleasure watching your race. Can't wait to see what you got for them next week, and you have yourself a great rest of your night.
Hey, thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, now we'll dial up our second place finisher, Nick Fleury. Nick, do you got a copy, my fellow Spartan?
I do. Go green.
Go white. So, how was this 25 machine? And I think Andrew might have some questions after that. But first, tell us how your car was and a heck of a battle you put on with Eric Papanow.
Oh, it was a pig. These cars are quite the thing to wrestle around a road course. It's pretty intense. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, they definitely look like a handful. It seemed like they were very traction limited. We saw the 43 really get out of shape quite a couple times. It looked like you were maybe struggling with a front end grip right when you got around him. Wasn't sure if you used up too much stuff trying to get around him and fend him on off, but it looked like that 25 machine leveled on out. And then you had to be watching that relative, seeing that 951 closing the gap pretty quickly there as he made his way through that field.
No, I didn't have any front end grip issues. It was all just having new tires and just overdriving, not remembering how to drive on those fresh tires. So I just had to gather it back up and just focus and start putting in consistent laps. And then the relative, man, you cannot look at relative in these cars. You just got to put in the best lap times you can. Don't worry about anyone else. And the result will just come to you.
That is very true. So, Nick, not quite going back-to-back here from last week, but able to still be on the podium, a runner-up. Are you pretty proud with that, with Dan Parmley seeming like was in his own league here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Dan is very talented on these road courses, and I didn't even try to beat him. I just wanted to finish that race without making any mistakes, and I'm real happy I actually achieved that. I didn't even have any incident points.
There you go. Can't ask for too much more on a road course. Coming home with a clean car with 0 incidents. Those are 2 big boxes checked off for this 25 team. So awesome job here tonight, Nick. And before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I'll open up the stage to you and let you give a shout out to whoever you need to.
Yeah, of course, to start always, my Lord and Savior. He's so good to me. My wife, she's extremely good to me as well. Then I need to thank my sponsors, CPM Incorporated, Django Home Improvements, Mike's Garage, and I got to thank my teammates, Dave Payton and Brett Hahn. We do have a lot of fun together, and we work hard on these race cars. And we got some upgrades coming in the shop that I think are going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, man, can't wait to see those upgrades and hear what they are. But right now, top secret R&D stuff, so definitely looking forward to that. And, Nick, awesome race here tonight. Definitely was a blast to watch this orange and yellow machine make its way around this racetrack with the battles you had. And I'll let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, now we'll go down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour, Dan the Man Parmalee. Dan, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth with Andrew.
I got you loud and clear. How you doing tonight, guys?
Oh, pretty good, but I don't think as good as a 710 machine. Holy smokes, Dan. You put on a clinic. How'd you do it? How was this car? How'd you keep it on rails? You got to let us all know the secrets.
I've been telling you every time we come to these road courses, it's going and driving the Porsches that iRacing offers, specifically the GT3 Cup and the Cayman. For whatever reason, the technique on those really translates well over not only to the Xfinity car. Now, I haven't tried the new Cup car yet, the next-gen Cup car. I can't speak for, but also on the truck. For whatever reason, it just really translates well, the technique there. So that's where I spend most of my time racing when I'm not here. So it was just was a blast coming out here and felt like a Sunday drive.
Yeah, Dad, you definitely put on a clinic. It seemed like you're, like you said, on a Sunday drive, but still ripping those fantastic lap times. Of course, the fastest lap in the race goes to you. And, man, I know you have some road course experience in real life. Did that definitely help out tonight? And why don't you tell the fans at home a little bit about that?
Yeah, so haven't been to the track yet this year, but hopefully going to get out maybe in June and head over to Summit Point with my Miata. But I've had that car for 8-9 years now. Haven't been to the track too much in the last couple of years, but I used to go pretty regularly years ago. And I even used iRacing to help me prepare for both VIR and Summit Point. So it really is great to learn the track. Can't say the feel really translates, but definitely getting the hands and feet doing the right thing can certainly help. And it's a lot of fun even just to take the Miata and iRacing app, as I feel like it drives pretty true to life, minus being able to feel everything. But it certainly helps when you jump back in the sim and can go drive and translate all the real life techniques to the sim and the other way around too.
Yeah, Dan, it definitely, I definitely used it way back in the day. It was totally different. The East Coast modifieds on here for when I started, and the full-size stuff for myself way back in 2013 just to get a feel for it. And I think it helped a little bit. I'd love to jump back in a real-life race car again here and see how much better I've gotten. But yeah, because this iRacing, like you said, even though you can't quite feel everything in the car, it helps a little bit. It helps you be more aggressive on the starts and, like you said, get that hand-eye coordination with some pedal coordination in there as well. Always helps. You can never practice too much, I love to say.
Oh, definitely, and especially with learning how to left foot brake. That was something I never did in a road car, but getting comfortable with it in the sim definitely helped out. Learning how to left foot brake, and I tell you, in a Miata, at least my Miata at Summit Point, I'm only in third and fourth gear for the most part, so there's not a whole lot of shifting. So you can definitely play around with the left foot braking to really optimize your corners.
There you go. Yep, left foot braking. That's how I learned to drive with the race cars, and then how to learn how to drive for the regular car with only the right foot. I know quite a few drivers out there that still only drive 2 foot. I can at least go back and forth, but yeah, definitely a tricky thing to learn if you're not used to it. But Dan, before we let you go celebrate, I know we had Debbie out there cheering you on. I'm sure she's all pumped up for the win, but we'll hand over the mic to you and let you go. Thank everyone from the 710 machine down in Victory Lane tonight.
Yeah, it was great, having the family along for the ride. Give a shout out to the wife, too. Of course, my mom, she always loves to watch these races. And wished Eric could have gotten a better finish here. It was looking really hopeful, us lining up on the front row. And it sounded like he just had a slight mistake, and that put him back a little bit. But so a shout out to him and the team at Pinot Performance, E-Motorsports, and Tagger Ray, Turn 3, and yourself for putting on such a great show.
All righty, thank you, Dan. I'll let you go celebrate down in Victory Lane. We'll go wrap it up in the booth here for the post race, and I will be sure to celebrate it in Victory Lane. Dan, you have yourself a great rest of the night.
We'll catch you next week, Brett. Take care.
All right, you too. Have a good one. That was our race winner, Dan Parmley, getting it done here tonight. And, man, heck of a drive from that 710 machine, Andrew. He was on rails and in his own zip code. Definitely was awesome to watch here tonight.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, Dan, the only way he would have lost tonight's race is if he had made a mistake of his own. And yeah, no one was catching him tonight. He he had this field on wrap, and I think this kind of proves that he can go from one place to another, especially with us having a road course in the playoffs will be huge for Dan and his playoff run.
Yeah, so quickly we'll go through the race results. Here, Dan Parmley in the 710 machine for PPEM parks it in Victory Lane. Nick Fleury in the 25-second. Brian Wilderson drove back through the field to finish P number 3. Jerry Cochran, the third, brings it home fourth and wins the Blue Division. Kyle Munson in the 28 rounds out the top 5. Sixth is Eric Papanow in the 43. Seventh is Austin Nielsen. Eighth is Nathan Henry. Tommy Haynes brings it home ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is Jeff O'Quinn. Jared Cochran Jr. brings it home in P number 11. 12th is Dave Payne. We saw him get in an incident. Lee Campbell had some troubles. Finished 13th, and that rounded out the field for the starting drivers here tonight. So, Andrew, with you being up, race controlling, watching, being the admin on the series, what'd you think of the racing tonight, and what are maybe some expectations now that we've reached the halfway point in this season?
Well, Brett, tonight the racing was great. Dan put on a show, blowing everyone away, and there was quite a few drivers that were close to one another the entire night. It was amazing to see Brian go back through the field from his speeding penalty there and end up in the top 3. And these drivers put on a good show. And that halfway mark, I think we're gonna see some drivers turn up the heat a little bit. That we're getting closer to the end of the regular season, and maybe they'll go on a hot streak. Maybe we'll see Dan go on a hot streak here, leading up to the playoffs. And he's been strong the last few races. I believe he won at Kansas a couple weeks ago, and now he has a win here tonight. He's poised. He's putting himself in a good spot, and I think a lot of these drivers are just going to have to go into the next couple weeks and not make any mistakes, and just continue to run well.
Yep, I agree, Andrew. Well, first and foremost, thank you for jumping in the booth, helping me call this race. I know you always love the road course. I know you probably wanted to be out there, so thanks again for jumping in the booth. Coming up here, calling some shots with me. Hopefully you had a great time. I know I enjoyed you being up here.
Well, thank you, Brett. Thank you for allowing me to come up and call the race. It was a blast. It's been a while since I've called a race, and maybe I'll have to come up here and do a few more through the rest of the season.
Well, I'll definitely give you the key to get in the door. If you're ever wanting to come on up, call another one. I'll give you the key and let you on up here. But, of course, I have been Brett the Jet from Turn 3 Racing Network. You have been watching the Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check them out throughout the week. We always have racing action going on any day of the week. Be sure to check out my streams or any other fellow broadcasters. They do some awesome work over here. Of course, from the ASRC side, got to thank all the competitors out here tonight for putting on a show. Got to give a shout out to Quick Time Motorsports Media, Mike's Custom Garage and Speed Shop, and the 399 Esports Gang. Got to, of course, give a shout out to you, Andrew, for being the series admin, running a very well put together series. And of course, got to give a shout out to all the YouTube viewers watching live. Got to thank each and every one of you. Thank you for coming out here, spending your Monday nights watching me chat on the mic. Have a great time with you all watching these awesome racing. Got to give a shout out to Debbie, Eric, and Brantley, all in the YouTube chat lands. Leaving a comment. I always enjoy interacting with each and every one of you. And I think that's about it. So I will finish on up here. Andrew, you got anything else?
Just thank you to for allowing me to come up, and thank you to all of our title sponsors that help put on the league and stuff like that. And thank you to everyone who comes out and watches and interacts with everyone in chat. And I really appreciate it.
Alrighty, folks. Well, this has been Brett the Jet on the mic here tonight. Everyone have a great rest of your night. Stay safe. We'll catch you all at same time, same place next week at a different track, of course. Have a great night. Be safe. This has been Brett the Jet. Just flew by you. See ya.